Season 5, new ways to play, new weapons, Easter egg hunts. We're doing it all live over on my Twitch channel if you want to come hang out and join in on the discussion. I'd love to see you out there if you're willing, so if you want to hang out and chat, links in the description below. Warzone Season 5 kicked up the heat a little bit when the long-standing Easter eggs in Verdansk were taken off of hold. With Season 3, we saw the introduction of interaction with the bunkers and some shacks around the map. With Season 4, that progress was seemingly halted, but with Season 5, we seem to be picking right back up where we left off, but with new twists along the way and a new Easter egg at Stadium with new intel pieces to back up further progression of the storyline as well. Today, I want to examine that new Easter egg at Stadium, give you a step-by-step process on how to do this so far that we know, so that you and your squad can join in on the hunt, and also let you know about what could be coming here. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of each of these Easter eggs? And as well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and COD 2020 as we unravel the mysteries here on the channel. So to preface this, I want to be absolutely upfront and transparent. This is not a complete guide or tutorial. Once we figure everything out, absolutely I will do everything I can to get a full guide up to you so you can have an easy look at way to comprehend and mimic what is necessary to complete the Easter egg for yourself. However, to my knowledge, no one in the world has completed this Easter egg legitimately, and it seems that egg itself is either bugged or everyone is missing one key crucial part. But via data mines and some glitching, we do know some of the outcome here and what we're looking for. As we mentioned in the intro, if you're interested in joining in on this real time, my squad and I may actually be live streaming this over on Twitch by the time this video goes up, looking into the progression of this, if not just playing some Warzone. But anyways, let's talk about the Easter egg here. So Stadium's Easter egg comes along with 3 access cards. You may end up seeing these access cards just by simply running around Stadium. There's one for P216, there's one for CL19, one for EL21. These each corresponding to different rooms on different levels of Stadium. P216 corresponds to the parking garage, CL19 corresponds to the lower level, and EL21 is the executive suite level, so at the very top office ring of Stadium. Each of these access cards pertain to certain locations that we just mentioned, but they each open up different server rooms or maintenance rooms. If you find one naturally, of course, it'll be really tempting to just go in, get in there, get whatever loot is behind door number 1 through 3, because there's some solid stuff in there, ranging anywhere from between 2 legendary crates to 3 of them in a singular small room, but also including some special super rare items, like things that I've seen of the advanced UAV, the Juggernaut suit, or I even saw one that was a specialist bonus, giving players all perks who pick that up. So naturally, of course, that's stuff that you really want, and individually, each of these are incredibly worthwhile, but together, that's where the Easter egg comes to take form. You'll need to find all 3. Now, the initial thoughts that we had, because it seemed like this was the case in most scenarios, that we'd find 1 card per spawn, each on different corresponding levels, though they didn't necessarily have to be on their own corresponding levels, meaning that if you ended up finding one in the basement or parking garage, you could end up finding EL21. So you'd find the executive card in the basement and so on and so forth. However, the more and more that we really did this, the more that we found 2, 3 cards, we ended up finding that it actually doesn't seem to be the situation all the time like that. Sometimes it seems like you can find multiple cards spawning on the same level. So you'll really just need to look around on each of those levels, get a squad, and just go hunting here for this. And unfortunately, that's kind of the best way to go about it. They have a few static spawns, but they're on rotation each game, such as basement clubhouses, under and on top of staircases or stairwells, in corners by debris and supplies. The locations change each game, but they have some relatively static locations. Now, the really tricky part, since not every single one spawns in that same location every time, naturally you gotta look around and hope you get lucky each game to find them relatively quickly. But once you realize that other players can pick them up as well, this is where it gets really tricky, because there's only 1 spawn of each card per game. So it's a race against not only the match clock to finish it, but also against other players to find them first, or in cases, as with what happened with my squad, maybe someone brings it to you like they did when I was calling out a station sequence to my crew. They just brought me another card because they were trying to do it as well, and I ended up killing them and taking it off their body. So that's also one other big part, is that you drop the card and you don't keep it after you end up dying. So that's what really makes this troublesome and pretty hard to to do at the moment. But okay, let's say you get that card. What next? When you get the card, you'll need to go and open up that corresponding maintenance room and collect the loot or not. That's up to you, but you'll want to approach the terminal in those areas. You'll be able to interact with a computer, and from there you can watch a brief flash of a sequence of numbers and symbols. Those numbers are of course just your numbers, but those symbols are the same cipher from Shaolin Shuffle that Infinity Ward has used in the past. Now initially we thought that would have to correspond with a number that we saw in that same sequence, but it doesn't seem like that's actually the case. We also thought initially that those symbols were null, meaning that they acted as blanks in the sequence where you'd have to fill in those blanks with other numbers presented by the other terminal codes. However, what we did find that produced the unique sequence that we needed of 8 digits was taking all 3 code sequences, writing them down in a list order top down 1, 2, and 3, and then compressing them into a singular list. So basically, if you have a static code sequence like ours was, where you had 8 to a number and symbol depending on which console you looked at, a number and symbol depending on which console you looked at, numbers and then symbols, you could compress those down into being able to just see that a symbol equals another number by context clues given whenever there was a number, say, given in the 3rd sequence order, and also when that same symbol was given in the 3rd order as well in a different terminal code. So by doing that, you can kind of compress those or fill in the blanks naturally, because some of those will be repeats, which that seems to produce then an 8-digit number that you can then take to the bank, or I guess the upper executive level, to get into the boardroom, which is your end goal here with this. Once you finally have that full 8-digit unique code, you can end up heading up to the executive level, and while you're up there, of course, there is that one server maintenance room that you could check on, but there's also the big boardroom, which has double doors and has 2 different entryways because it is a larger room. This is locked off by a keypad, which requires an 8-digit code. However, this is where things get dicey. This is where right now we're kind of at an impasse. We're just not able to progress because while we've produced an 8-digit code, again, either we're doing something wrong, missing a step, or the entire thing could just be bugged at the very moment. But whenever you start to input any number, you end up getting an erroneous red display on that keypad, meaning that you can't progress, you can't input that code. So right now it seems like even if you do the steps that we know of so far and what looks to be the correct formatting, it doesn't work for you. And it's not even a matter of the sequence could be wrong, because any number you put in will be read, even the first one. But based off of data mines and some glitching that we've seen here with this, it looks like it's going to be something like the Bunker 11 Easter egg, where we'll get some cool unique items here for completing this, presumably maybe a new blueprint like the Mud Dropper was with the Bunker 11 Easter egg. We'll see some loot obviously in there like we saw with those maintenance rooms as well, but the big part is that it looks to set off some sort of fireworks show. Now whether or not that leads to something else, that's something we entirely do not know, or if it's just something that is a little visual Easter egg that admittedly I think is kind of a bummer if that's what happens, but that's what we know of right now. However, my squad has a little bit of a theory here at this, because it seems like we may actually be seeing 2 Easter eggs going on at once. One with Stadium and then one with the bunkers still. One though looks to preview the sequel of the game with Al-Assad and Zakayev, whatever Infinity Ward is writing next here in their next installment into the Call of Duty franchise, which that may be the bunker Easter egg. That may be something that we've seen the storyline progress through Intel, talking about the bunkers a little bit, but that also could be something that maybe we have it backwards. Maybe we just see something in the Intel progress that storyline, but another one looks to likely reveal Call of Duty 2020. So it definitely is a great time for Easter eggs here at this, so you'll want to stick it here on the channel as we go through all of this. I'm excited to see what happens of it, and again, hopefully this gets fixed out, or hopefully the clarity comes to us that we know a little bit more of what to do, but that's where we're at right now at this Easter egg. However, one thing also I wanted to mention before we wrap up this video is that the Intel this season kicked off with its first installment, in which we saw 5 steps to new information with the storyline and what we have on offer. For the first step of the cluster entitled The Lost Team, it ends up tasking you with finding the message that Ghost sent you. This, from the image provided, gives you a little bit of the context that it's on the radio station underneath the tarmac at airport. So that little underground tunnel is the location here of the first one. Once you complete that, you'll end up getting the second step, in which it mentions an armistice group was stationed at the Torsky housing area. Now, this is one that when you take a look at the image, it doesn't give you any really new clarity other than, well, just the text on it, because we saw that image before in previous Intel missions, but it almost looks as if it's going to be around airport, but it's actually not. It's actually over by Block. If you're on the street looking at Burger Town, it is the single-story trailer on the tent side of that building. On the ground, you'll end up seeing the interactable feature here with this, in which you can collect the intel and once again gather what is needed from Ghost. Step 3 tells you there were survivors from a helicopter crash, in which the autopsy report details it was near City Hall, so you want to end up dropping into downtown and taking a look at that helicopter crash right by the skyscraper, which I didn't realize you could actually go in this thing, but you can, and that's where the intel is located for this step. The fourth and final interactable step here with this one tasks you with a multi-step process to complete this bundle. It says signal interference prevents locating the missing operator. For this, you're going to need to go to 3 different radio towers all in one game here at this. Firstly, the one over by Port, then you want to make your way over to the radio tower just outside of Promenade at the southwest of the map. And then finally, you want to make your way up to the top of the radio tower at TV. From there, you can collect all 3 different intel pieces, and that will wrap up the intel for this first installment. When you complete that, you'll end up seeing that you find the missing operator, or rather locate the missing operator, and the objective and image granted is of Arm 3-1 at prison with a simple signal strength is good satellite image going along with that. Now, it really depends on where you think the storyline and the outcome of this is going. Again, if we follow that 2 Easter egg storyline, it really could be one of 2 different things. One, it sets up, of course, the sequel here for Modern Warfare in 2019, which is probably going to be Modern Warfare Roman numerals 2 in 2021, perhaps, but it also could be something that maybe this is what is leading to Call of Duty 2020's reveal, in which maybe, just maybe, that missing operator is Woods. The one that we saw from Season 4 Reloaded's mid-season update, data mined in the game files. That operator that was playable had voice lines, which that would be something else. That would be really cool. But again, if you want to get a jump on those, work on that Easter egg storyline and narrative-wise, you definitely can, and it's really worthwhile this time. It also is nice because it seems like they fixed them, or at least these ones to start the season are working, whereas the ones in the past couple of weeks have not been. As for the bunker Easter egg, though, just for, I guess, full transparency and clarification, talking about all the Easter eggs in total here within Warzone, the bunkers don't seem to have any progression just yet. You can interact with the keypad, but nobody really has any go at that just yet that I've seen that proves to be fruitful or proves to have some sort of next step to that Easter egg. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. But again, a lot of cool stuff here coming out of Season 5 in terms of Easter eggs, secret events, new missing operators, and storyline details. A whole lot of cool stuff. So stick it right here on the channel if you're interested in any of this. We'll keep you up to date with everything as we go along and find out more. So that said, that is where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this? Are you looking forward to seeing how this works out? Do you think we missed a step? Do you think the Easter egg is bugged? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know. But hopefully enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and COD 2020 as we round into a whole ton of stuff here coming up. So stick it here on the channel if you're interested in any of that. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get anything from outside of YouTube. Practically on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.